Philosophical Approaches in Adult Education by Ken.biddington. While it is possible to identify the purposes of adult education through the preferred methods of examination of practice, another method is to use a philosophical approach. Elias and Miriam, 2005, identified 7 philosophies of adult education, that is, liberal, progressive, behaviorist, humanistic, critical, radical, analytical, and postmodern. Liberal, emphasizing a concern mainly with the liberal arts and the love of learning and the development of intellectual power of logic and rational discussion. For educators who embrace this liberal philosophy, their main goal is to liberate the power of the human mind and the acquisition of wisdom. They believe that their role is to develop the rational and moral power of learners. Progressive. This philosophy encompasses other origins of learning such as experience, feelings, and curiosity, rather than just reason, as part of its learner-centered approach. Education is viewed as a social activity and should serve the purpose of a social reform. The focus is on granting access to learning, particularly in the areas of science, problem-solving, and new technologies for all learners. In North America, this philosophy has been most impactful on adult education and was a driving force behind the universal public education. Behaviorists. This has been linked to skills training, planning, and evaluation. With a focus on observable and measurable behavior, it is a competency-based approach, based upon the premise of human motivation being linked to the pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of pain principle. The belief is that learning can be molded according to the nature of the stimulus used. Humanistic. Focus on individual creativity and autonomy. The freedom and dignity of humans are considered sacred. This approach is highly person-centered in the way learners are supported in their quest for personal meaning and self-actualization. Often associated with self-directed learning, it is often the favored approach of those within human resource development and has been highly influential in the field of adult education. Critical radical views education as a vehicle for consciousness raising, empowerment, and social change. The cornerstone of the philosophy is challenging injustice and lack of freedom and promoting social transformation, social justice, environmental sustainability, and democracy. Learners are encouraged to conduct social analysis to better understand their position in society and recognize how and where power is located. Analytical. Focus on careful analysis of the words, concepts, metaphor, and principle commonly used in education and how the language and associated values shape practice. It views the goal of education in terms of function, especially the effect on the educator and the benefit to the learner, with less thought about social significance. Now for the last one, postmodern. Analyzes the fundamental principle of the modern age handed down from the period of enlightenment, such as the power to establish universal truth, the sureness of knowledge, predetermination of growth, the opportunity for complete coherence, and other theories that strive to clarify societal pattern in a universal approach. It is intended to deconstruct and shed light on the vagueness and decentralization of the information. The goals of enlightenment are freedom, justice, emancipation, a stark contrast to the basis of postmodernism, which is anti-foundational, resisting the notion of essential ideals and concepts. Post-structuralism operates from a place of deconstruction belief and has led to violence and divisiveness.